What family secret ruined your family bond? I used to really like my uncle and admired how successful he was. Nice car, enormous house, stables for more horses than you could poke a stick at, and never having to work a day. Meanwhile, my family were dirty poor. Dad often struggled to put food on the table. I later found out that my uncle had swindled my father for everything and conspired in coercing my grandfather to give him everything and my father nothing. My father was forced to mortgage the family home to pay for my uncle's debts, while my uncle sacrificed nothing. My family, as far as I can tell, don't realize I have a lot of trauma because of my father, and pretty much all my memories from before his suicide are traumatic. This is something that at Thai had created a lot of tension for me, and is one of the factors of why I can't live with my family for my mental health, despite having a very good relationship with them. A deceased girl was discovered on my grandfather's land in the 1970s. Everyone, even the local police, suspected she was killed by drug traffickers after joining a bad crowd. Several of his grandchildren came forward regarding the molestation in the 1990s. Following that, word spread that grandfather had most likely killed that girl. Got a Facebook message from one guy asking if I was related to my dad, since it's not a common last name. I thought he was a fan of his work, because I was in college at the time, and the guy was about the same age as me. And that's how I found out my dad slept around and that I had a half-brother the same age as me. He left her a load of money even though he left before she was born. Another very messy story. My aunt and uncle, no idea how they managed it, stole all the money from my mum's bio-dad's estate. They made off with around £25,000 each. That we had a sister we didn't know about for 20 years. My sister was the oldest of my 4 brothers, and my mother gave her up for adoption when she was born. We found out from a third cousin on Facebook who told us about it, and we finally met her. But for some reason my sister made a huge deal when she found out I had an OnlyFans and said she never wants to talk to me again until I'm not a disappointment. LOL. I still talk with everyone else though. One of my cousins raped another of our cousins, and the men in the family stick up for him. His father was a rapist, which was no secret, and had a wife who died of a very suspicious suicide falling down the stairs. The fact that my cousin from mom's side fucked around with my dad divorced to my mum, and everyone in the family still included her in shit, and my mum was gaslit into thinking it was okay instead of banning her. Say my little brother for years, and my brother never told anyone until he turned 18. My family still includes my cousin is all family events, and we are the ones that don't attend anything anymore. It started to heal a little, but my mum leaving to start a new family was a bad one. I'm still not fully ready to forgive her. But I do like spending time with my half-brothers. They're sweet boys. Mine is my auntie marries this guy. Wish she knew he was a pedo. She let him around my cousins and I when we were 15. Last year we found out and she's been banned from the family. Met my dad later in life. I found out he lost custody of my older sister when she was younger. We are both adults now because of physical abuse. I can't look at him the same way. Finding out my dad isn't my bio dad in my 30s. I've tried not to let it ruin things based on the circumstances behind it, but it definitely created a tension I wish wasn't there. Yeah, I knew that I was adopted, but for my cousins to readily tell people, oh, he's adopted, he's not really related to us. Shit made my walls go up in an instant. After I married a girl with an Asian background, I found out exactly how racist my family was. I honestly never saw it before we married. Turns out our family is actually just a group of distant relatives who are forced to spend every holiday together. Found out my older brother and our aunt would cross-dress in each other's clothes. Don't ask me how I found out. Do you think your family secrets that ruined my family bond was when my parents found out I was molested? My great-great-grandfather was exiled and banned from Missouri for being a sheep thief. Strange that OP has a matching story for almost all secrets listed here. My blowing the whistle on being sold as a child. A black sheep now I am.